As the murmur spread through the gathered crowd, the woman felt a squeeze in her heart, knowing she didn't belong there. Her heart ached for the liberty that had been cruelly snatched away months ago, a captivity that had turned her into a magical exhibit, a target for cruel laughter. The dark feather wings wrapped around her, offering a warm, comforting embrace as she huddled, seeking solace. Her fingers traced the curve of her horns, a familiar gesture that always brought forth the question of whether she was indeed the devil they all believed her to be. Her mind drifted back to moments of freedom, her wings outstretched, the exhilarating rush of wind against her face, her dark hair streaming behind her. She felt the delicate touch of her feathers on her prominent cheekbones and absently pulled at her short hair, her heart aching with a silent longing for death, trapped in her miserable cage. As the curtains were pulled open, the light flooded in, suddenly revealing her in the middle of the room, her wings folded behind her as she shielded her eyes with her hand, instinctively trying to appear smaller. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd as many pointed fingers her way. Look, there she is! A freak! Spoke someone. As the woman heard those words and many others, her shoulders sagged with embarrassment. Her gaze fell into the ground as she silently wished the spectacle would end, a deep self loathing churning within her. Suddenly, a rough wooden stick jabbed at her, making her jump back in surprise. Show yourself to them, Davina! Commanded someone. As a whimper of pain escaped her lips, she took a step forward, the feeling of tears gathering in her dark eyes becoming almost unbearable. The once vibrant magical energy had vanished, leaving a void, and her own fiery spirit felt diminished. Divina's eyes fell on the iron bracelets, their cold metal a stark contrast to the constant burning sensation as her magic was bound. The sound of the shouting crowd echoed around her, and a solitary tear rolled down her cheek, a physical manifestation of her profound sense of worthlessness. With trembling lips, she unfurled her wings, revealing feathers that were dull and lacked their former radiance. The pressure of crowd stares and their venomous whispers made Davina subtly bow her head. Despite the stinging in her eyes, a stubborn resolve in her heart kept her from shattering and revealing the vulnerability they have been trying to extract for months. Devil itself! Shouted someone. She was caught off guard as people began flinging food at her from all sides. As screams and laughter echoed, she furled her wings, a defensive maneuver against the nearing strike. Maintaining a thin and smiling line with her lips, she suffered the verbal abuse and the wet, heavy sound of the food splattering against her. Freak! yelled someone. A soft whimper escaped her, a silent plea for the relentless weekly humiliation in ever changing locations to end. She peeked through her wings, seeing the man near the ground, his chest puffed out with pride as he pocketed the coins handed to him. Her soul swelled with anger and frustration, understanding her suffering was nothing more but paid entertainment. With the passage of time, the curtain descended again, plunging Davina into silence and a chaotic mess. Her skin pricked with goosebumps as she observed the food on the metallic ground, the sticky blend of vegetable essence clinging to her exposed feet. Fighting back the sting of her tears that welled in her eyes, she resisted the urge to break down in the face of the world's cruelty. With a sigh of resignation, her wings slowly descended, the soft feathers making a slight, dry rustle as they grazed the grim chilly floor. Silent for months, her eyes swept over the confines of her cage, a profound regret for her continued existence filling her. Davina approached the wooden swing in her prison, its aged wood cool and smooth under her touch, and settled onto it with the grace of a bird aligning on the branch, hoping to find a few hours of rest before the inevitable scrubbing of the grimy floor. With a few forceful blinks, she tried to gather her strength, a desperate hope flickering within her that she wasn't alone, that others of her kind still breathed and remembered. Hey, are you okay? Asked someone. With a curious glance from between her feathery wings, Davina saw a young woman tiptoeing into her enclosure, her fingers expertly maneuvering a key to unlatch the cage. A flutter of hope in her chest, a sensation dormant for months arose. The woman's face was a canvas of sorrow and hurt as she shuffled her feet round towards the swing. Hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I just want to help you. I stole the keys from the owners of this cage. Why? Asked Davina. Doubt and a flicker of desperate hope warred within her as the realization struck her that this supposed to rescue could be a twisted, heartless jest. Slowly, she lowered herself down onto the floor, the churning remains of the food scattering beneath her. Her eyes stayed fixed on the woman, taking the peculiar, masculine cut clothing that made her tap all she thought she knew. I'm a thief. I wanted to take the money from the person who imprisoned you, but if I release you, it will take away from him the source of his income, and you don't deserve to be here, spoke the woman softly. With measured steps, she dragged closer to Davina, the cold metal of the bracelet key cool against her palm as she retrieved it. A soft click echoing in the silence, the lock opened it, and her bindings hit the floor with a loud thud, the final sizzle of her skin and her wrists marking the movement. With a silent parting of her lips, Davina observed the luminous tendrils of her magic weaving through her, a warm, vibrant current mending her injuries. As she flexed her wings, she felt a surge of returning power with each passing moment, a stark contrast to their weakened state after months of confinement. A soft chuckle escaped her lips as she wiggled her fingers, sending tiny, shimmering sparks of magic twirling between her fingertips. Oh, wow! whispered the woman. Her eyes remained fixed on the creature, observing the transformation of its neglected feathers into something that sparkled with the initial glow of ember. Within moments, her wings were engulfed in a searing heat that forced the thief to retreat. Thank you, spoke Davina. In that moment, her eyes blazed with a fiery hue, her horns pulsed with glowing runes, and the flames licked through her feathers. She flapped her wings a few times, the intense heat from her flames softening the iron bars until they sagged and the curtains below began to smolder. She immediately saw through an opening, the rush of air and the powerful beat of her wings carrying her forward. With a deep, satisfying breath of her newfound freedom, a bright laugh bubbled from her chest, and she felt an exhilarating sense of rebirth, like a phoenix emerging anew. Her flame blazed with the intensity of the sun, and with a few powerful beats of her wings, she unleashed fire upon the homes of those who aided in her capture months prior. Amidst the spreading panic, she moved with a dancer's elegance, a blazing tornado, her wings spread wide like a mythical phoenix soaring. The siren song of freedom beckoned her, and a smile bloomed on her face as she let the tears of pure joy stream down her cheeks.